I'm Rick Springfield. I'm a writer, musician, actor, dad. Dad probably should have come at the top. Depression kind of set in around 15 for me. I think puberty is when it hits. I was doing really badly at school and just staying home and exhibiting incredible signs of depression that I see now, but we didn't know what it was then. The headmaster of the high school I was in eventually came to my parents and said, "Richard can't come back next year," which is pretty brutal for public school. My mom eventually took me to a therapist for a while. It was a good attempt by my mom and actually a pretty prescient kind of thing, but nothing good came out of it. And I was just lost and felt like I was worthless, completely worthless. The only thing that really made me feel better was music, was playing my guitar. And my mom, I was supposed to be doing homework and I'd be playing my guitar and always, "Richard, get off the guitar, start doing your homework." So she fought it all the way. My dog was, my mom says my dog, our family dog, was really my savior during that time. I look at dogs as furry Prozac, basically. They really, my parents were as lost as I was. And it just got to one point where I just, I didn't see a way out of it. I thought it was going to be like that for the rest of my life. One morning I just ran in the shed, grabbed a rope and made a real noose and put it around the rafters and stood up in a box and kicked it away, and it hung there for about, like 15, 20 seconds, and was really starting to lose consciousness, and the rope came loose from the rafter that I put it around. And I felt kind of saved at that point, but it's certainly, nothing I would recommend anyone try to see if they're saved. But I did feel like maybe I was meant to be here. One afternoon, my mom came in and said, "Pete Watson's in the living room." I said, "You're kidding me, right?" Because he was a big star in Australia then. Pete Watson, he was in a famous band in Australia. And I went in and he said, I saw you play at a coffee shop and want you to join my band." And that was really my savior. I just said, I went to my parents actually and said, "What should I do?" She said, "Do what you want to do. If you want to join the band, go play guitar." So they both said that, and that was really the big change for me. I felt so much more free, and my depression lifted for quite a while. I never really had any medical problems. I'm sure part of it is chemical, because sometimes I'll just wake up in the middle of the night and it'll just be there. I talk in my book about it sitting on the end of my bed, and it's what it feels like sometimes. And I kind of go, "Oh no." Occasionally, Prozac has helped, but the only real peace I get is when I'm doing something I love to do, which is writing, performing. I love, even at my darkest moments, I've gone on stage and it's gone. It's just gone. Sometimes alcohol, I've gotten into alcohol, but I know it doesn't help. So I'm aware of that, and I don't try and chase that ever. The whole sexual issue for me is the detrimental high that I've tried to chase all my life. And I thought for a long time, I thought fame would heal it too. I mean, it's all kind of tied in. I thought I needed something, there was something out there that would heal me once I attained it. And I realized pretty fast it wasn't sex. Writing my autobiography, I truly realized that there was actually a positive side to my depression, and that was that's really where all my songs come from. It also made me incredibly introspective, because I was always going, "What the hell's wrong with me?" That was always the question. Why do I feel so bad? And it's definitely made me a different person than if I hadn't had depression. I just bought a new house and had a baby and was touring and had money and fame and all that kind of stuff, and I felt worse than I ever felt. I stopped touring, stopped everything, and became a bit of quite a recluse, actually. Seeing a therapist helped me with depression in that it really occupied my my introspection. It helped in that it wasn't such a dark secret anymore. It wasn't such an unnamed monster hiding in my head. So I think that's a real plus. I would certainly, I'd certainly recommend to everybody in the universe has therapy. It was at one point I completely didn't believe in anything spiritual. It was just after my dad died. And then my dog died, Ronnie. And he died, and that was the hardest thing for me. When he died, it was I was really at a dark point and felt like my career and everything had died with him. And it turned me back to a spiritual path, which I've been chasing ever since. Spirituality and my pursuit of that, which has been constant and still very ill-defined, has definitely been a savior for me. Doing something positive for myself, meditating, which I don't do enough, hugging my dog, which I don't do enough, rather than feeling overwhelmed by it all. Family is probably the most important thing to me after a spiritual connection, but it's something that I know is there. I don't have any doubts about the family connection. So that was really what was the hardest thing when I came over here and left my family. And I think I had an American family here, the Davidsons, who, Doug Davidson is still my best friend. And my mom credits Corinne, Doug's mom, with saving me because she brought me into her family completely. And I think that is anyone's most important anchor. Being creative and writing is the best thing for me, absolutely the best thing for me, because I can use the depression. I don't have to try and compensate for it. I can actually use it. It's very, very helpful. I have a guy now that I know that's going through some stuff, and I ask him how's it going, and he got some issues, and it's pretty much the same, and so we just hug him. And, I'd say just give it some time too. I wish someone had said that to me. That thing, it will change. Something will. It won't always be like this. My highest point, probably being a father, actually, has been pretty constantly amazing. Career thing comes and goes, and I love writing. It's just certainly high points in my career that I remember, but they're kind of like drug hits, great drug hits. You kind of, oh, wow, this is great. Can't wait to do this again. Whereas the father thing is kind of pretty constant. But without hope, we're a dead species. But if you've got hope and you take action, something will change. I mean, everything changes, but you will have a choice. You will make the change rather than having the choice made for you, and it will be made for you. If you don't make a choice, the world will make a choice for you.